On behalf of the congregation of Fourth Presbyterian Church, indeed, welcome to all of you on this celebration day, for that is exactly what it is. It is a day of celebration. Today we celebrate the rich history of this tutoring program. I know I haven't been the pastor here for very long, and I still don't know what I don't know, but I know this for sure, and that is that this tutoring program is one of the brightest lights that shines here on Michigan Avenue, indeed, in the city of Chicago. It's incredible that due to the partnership between families and students and tutors, as well as the excellent staffing of Chicago Lights, this has been going on continuously for 50 years. I can't wait to see how it unfolds as we keep moving into this future together. I know from the stories that I have heard thus far in my 3 or 4 months of being pastor here that this program changes lives. It certainly changes the lives of the students, yes, but it changes the lives of the tutors as well. So I am honored to be in your midst this day, and I look forward to continuing to learn from you about what it means to be peacekeepers and justice seekers, for whether you know it or not, that is what you are doing as you participate in this program. If you feel so called, if you would join your hearts with me in prayer. Gracious, mercy-making God, we do thank you for all of the hours that have been spent through this tutoring program, teaching and learning, sharing stories and dreams. We are deeply grateful for those who got it started 50 years ago, whose vision planted these seeds that faithful volunteers have continued to water as the years have unfolded. And we pray for the continued vitality and health of this program, a miracle, frankly, that uses shared time to turn strangers into family. Be with the staff who support it, the volunteers who give of themselves, the families who are open to it, the students who both learn and teach through it. But Holy One, we also pray for the day when it's no longer needed, for all manners of things are finally made well. In the name of the Holy, we pray. Amen. Welcome.
All right. How's everybody doing? Good, good. Before I begin, first let me thank Reverend Kirshner for your jubilant words. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Rachel Thompson and John Finley. Rachel is a volunteer tutor here at Chicago Lights. She's also a Chicago Lights Associates board member. Okay, and John is also a Chicago Lights board member as well, and has been here for nearly half of the 50 years program. So please help me in welcoming Rachel Thompson and John Finley.
That's just another way to say I'm old. Thanks. So about 25 years ago, I was at a tutoring training program here at the program, and one of the tutors asked me, asked the speaker, "Hey, do the kids appreciate what you do?" And the speaker paused, and she said, "You know, I can't always say yes. These are kids. But I certainly won't say no. I guess the answer is not yet. Today is part of yet. Today we celebrate and we also appreciate."
That's right, John. And at this time, we'd like to invite all the members of the Tutoring 50th Anniversary Committee to please stand so we can recognize your efforts.
Thank you. And we'd also like to ask the members of the staff, present and past staff of the tutoring program, if they would stand. And they're so humble, most of them are at the back.
now I'm going to take some time to tell you guys a little bit about my story as a tutor here at Fourth Pres Church. And my story is a little unique. I actually started tutoring when I was 12 years old. And that's really only thanks to one person, and that's my mom. So I'm going to publicly acknowledge her right now, which I know she won't want. But see, what she knew was that it was going to be a really special time for us to spend together every Monday night, but it turned into something just overwhelmingly impactful in my life. This summer, I did a graduate school fellowship through an organization called Education Pioneers, which some people may be familiar with, but the idea is for graduate students to have a broad impact on the world of education in order to enact change. And as I got up there, and we all had to tell our stories of how we ended up in that room of graduate students, and my story started here. It started here, and it started because of my mom and because of all the people in this room who helped made this organization such an amazing place to be. I would walk in here every Monday with a sense of purpose and a sense of perspective that not a lot of 12-year-olds had. And I really carry that with me still today. I tutored the same student, Dion, throughout from when I was 12 until I left for college, which at that point my mom took over for me. And I continued a similar program in Ann Arbor where I went to school. And then after school, it turned out that teaching was my calling. And so I became a math teacher and really, again, just have always felt that education is at the root of being able to make change. And I got that from this place. And I think that my relationship with Dion and my time here really paved who I am now and who I want to be. And I want to continue to live out the mission of this organization throughout my life. And I hope that everyone in this room is doing that, whether it's in small ways or in big ways. And I'm glad that everyone's here to share and celebrate such an amazing place and what it did for me, let alone what it does for all the amazing students that we have the privilege of working with. So a huge thank you to Stacy and for everyone that's helped make this organization possible and for having me here to talk about it a little bit. So just a round of applause for such a wonderful place. So now at this time, I want to bring up a friend of mine who I met through tutoring here and still see often, a longtime volunteer at the program, Stephanie Turkin, who's going to talk to you guys.
William Shakespeare said, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." A rabbi once told me, "It's not so important to bring a child into the world as it is to make a difference in a child's life." I've been a tutor since 1992. I first would like to read excerpts of 2 newspaper columns written by Bob Greene in the Chicago Tribune. The first one is dated October 25th, 1992. What is ironic is that it could have been written today. Here's your chance to make a difference. In the wake of the terrible shooting death of Dantrell Davis, 7, who was killed at Cabrini Green by a sniper as he walked with his mother toward his first grade class, many residents of Chicago and its suburbs have been asking if there is anything in the world they can do. Yes, there is. There is a need right now, today, for caring, concerned Chicago area adults to do something that will provide an enormous lift to children from Cabrini Green who are facing the hardships in life that Dantrell Davis faced. What we're going to tell you about here is not empty symbolism. This is the real thing, and your help is wanted. For more than 25 years, something inspirational and good has been going on at the Fourth Presbyterian Church, which is located on one of Chicago's most elegant blocks. The children come when the temperature is below 0. The children come when blizzards fill the streets with snow. The attendance rate is close to 100%. The boys and girls are there because they want to be. They see it as a chance to do better, and most of them never miss a night. The children see it as something else, too, an opportunity to be with people who care about them, who have demonstrated that caring by showing up to meet the children every week, and who are trying hard to give the children a little bit of an advantage in a world that often seems destined to hold the children down. The children leave Cabrini Green and come to the church, and they find friendship and knowledge and hope. We are very short of tutors. We have no shortage of children who are eager to be assigned a tutor, but there are not enough tutors to go around. If you're interested in helping the church and the children, we'll be grateful. After the death of Dantrell Davis, a lot of anguished people were asking, is there any way one person can make a difference? A couple of weeks later, Bob Green wrote, "The response from those of you who read the column was beyond impressive. What was needed wasn't money or a one-time drop-in at the church. What was needed was people to volunteer to tutor a child one night a week, every week, making the commitment to be there for the child every time. That's not easy. That's not something you do on a whim." More than 1,700 readers called the church to say they were available. I am one of those people, and I know several others are here today because of these columns. Talk about making a difference and touching people's lives and bringing people together. Thank you, Bob Green.
The thanks goes to all of you. I've been traveling on a story, but when Stephanie told me about today, I wanted to come back just to be with you. All I did was tell people about it. You're the people, the tutors who were here every week, the students who came every week for all these years. You're the ones who did it. Alex used the phrase that he was honored to be here, and that's the right phrase. We're all honored to be here with you, and we hope that in 50 years when we're all gone, you'll still be doing it. Well, you won't, but your successors will still be doing it. Thank you very much for everything.
About 15 years ago, I met Chef Bruce Williams from Mon Ami Gabi. I heard him tell his story of living in the projects and his dream of a better life and about the people that helped him along the way. He didn't know me, but I asked if he would be interested in teaching a cooking class with kids. When I told him of the tutoring program, he said yes in a flash, and that's the short story of how Chef for a Day was born. What you don't know is when I arrived at Mon Ami Gabi on that Sunday morning of the first class, Chef Bruce said, "I have a surprise for you." And he then led me over to Umbria, where the award-winning pastry chef Michel Briand was waiting with little chef's hats and little chef's aprons. These two men, Chef Bruce and Chef Michel, may he rest in peace, so generously extended their talents to these children who mattered. It was magical, beautiful, and meaningful, and it fills my heart every time I think about it. Thank you, Bruce, and thank you, Michelle. In the past 20-some years, I've tutored 8 children. Let me tell you about 2, as they now are part of my family. First, there is Timothy, also known as Bleep. He was just 7 when we met, but it was love at first sight. Timothy enjoyed the tutoring program, was engaged in the scholarship program, and participated in the career development program. He graduated from Holy Trinity High School. Brenna is my student now. We met when she was 6. She's Timothy's cousin. She has enjoyed tutoring very much. She won the spelling bee 3 times. Brenna has just started her freshman year at the Latin School of Chicago on almost a full scholarship. She speaks French and she speaks French and can play the flute. I think she tutors me. Give a child a chance, make a difference in a child's life. A green frog named Kermit said, "If you want your dreams to come true, share them with others."
I would like for all of the people who have been a volunteer tutor, both past and present, to stand. Thank you all for sharing your time with the program and your students. Now I'd like for all of those who are current tutors to stand. And I'd also like to thank you all for dedicating your time to the betterment of your students. Now, curiosity has just grabbed me in a way, and it won't let me go. So I want to try something here. For those who have tutored 5+ years, can you please stand for me? 5 years or more, please stand for me. Just remain standing for a moment. All right, remain standing for a moment, would you? How about 10+ years? If you've tutored 10+ years, could you please stand for me? And I just want to take a moment to acknowledge one that I seen stand, Linda, who's actually my niece's tutor. All right, how about 15+ years? 15+ years. All right, there's a stretch here, 20+ years of tutoring here at Chicago Lights. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a round of applause to your mentors here at the Chicago Light Tutoring Program.
All right, that's pretty remarkable. So many years ago, when the tutoring program was just sort of ramping up, it was apparent that students who came were really sluggish and they couldn't focus. And so looking into it a little bit more, it was discovered that students really didn't have access to a healthy meal. And program supporters were led to act, and the program was then able to provide a healthy hot meal to students before the tutoring night began, which I remember was so meaningful to helping kids be focused and get some work done. There was one special volunteer that noticed that there was still also a lot of time between when the dinner ended, because kids were eating really quickly, and when the tutors were arriving. And so what could have been just dead time was actually something that she transformed into something special. And she used it for learning and exploring, and there was arts and crafts and culture and career activities and just a lot more. And so for her many years of creative and engaging lessons and for being instrumental in forming the Kids Cafe, we want to recognize Sue McDowell. And so Kids Cafe, which is now called Intuit Cafe, came to be because of Sue, and also because of the director at the time. Where are you, T? T. Akbar. Now, T was the first full-time director of the program, and under her leadership, many program-enhancing projects were birthed. The Kids Cafe, the Holiday Card Project, the Reading Assessment Initiative, and so much more. In fact, because of T's leadership, the program doubled in size. So T, really amazing. I like almost want you to come up here and give you a hug because I haven't seen you in so long. But unbelievable.
All right, Sheena. There are so many wonderful things about the tutoring program here at Chicago Lights. And possibly the most beautiful thing is the relationship that a lot of the students and a lot of the tutors form. At this time, I'm going to give the stage to one of those pairs there, one of those student relationship pairs, and I'd like to welcome to the stage to talk about their experience here at Chicago Lights, Sue and LaToya.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is LaToya Zubovich. I'm currently a district-wide recruiter for City Colleges of Chicago. Sue and I were in the tutoring program for the years of 1990 through 99. I know I'm aging myself.
And me.
So, under the supervision of T. Akbar, we did the Monday night tutoring program. I was in about 5th grade. I came because math and grammar were my 2 areas of opportunity. Back then, I was just really bad at it. That's probably what I would have said. And something so simple as coming for those 2 areas really turned into something a lot greater. When I met Sue, I was living with my father. He was a single parent, so I was definitely a tomboy. And meeting Sue, Sue gave me tough love when it came to my academics. And when it came to being a woman, she really exposed to me the importance of being graceful, God-centered, career-driven, and many other areas that I did not get at home. I think it's important that all of the tutors know that your role in the 2T's lives are much more than helping with division, geometry, spelling, and things of that nature. Fast forward, Sue was in my life for 9 years as a tutor. She has been in my life as family for 24 plus years. I can go on because 24 years of a relationship is a lot, but I would just like to highlight some of the wonderful experiences that Sue and I have had as a result of this tutoring program. She was the first person to take me to Disney World. Absolutely wonderful. She was the first person to teach me about balanced meals, something that's part of her everyday life, such as a meat, carb, and a vegetable, was not a part of my life, and I learned that by coming to her house and seeing her world. So these are really, really important life skills that may be an everyday part of your life, but you have no idea what you are exposing someone else to. I'm going to wrap up because we only have 5 minutes, and I know Sue has a lot to say, but I would like to end it with saying, with something so small as a Monday night obligation as the result of my dad, really turned into a lifelong experience. It's important to realize as tutors what a pertinent role you play in our lives. It truly does take a village to raise a child. And every single tutor that's taking the time to teach us and be here to show us something, you're really part of that village.
I think that I speak for all the tutors out there that after a long day of work and a busy career, to come and meet with an absolutely adorable 10-year-old little girl just gives you a second wind and restores the joy of life like no other thing could do for me. And I looked forward to every single Monday night for all those years that we got together, and feel so blessed at the relationship that we've been able to develop. As LaToya said, a lot of our tutoring program involves mentoring of students too, and you have no idea what the littlest things you may say or do for them will mean in their life. And the tutoring program changes the tutors' lives too. It changes us for the better, it expands our world and our horizons, and we actually learn a lot from our students as well. I feel very privileged to have Toya in my life. She's like a daughter to me. She has two beautiful little boys who call me Auntie Sue, and I have, you know, generations to look forward to of, you know, an adopted family. We have a very special relationship that's gone beyond a tutor and a tutee, and I'm so proud of the woman that LaToya has grown into. She has shown me, as she's gone through the challenges, the joys and sorrows of her now adult life, she's been an example to me of how she has really experienced these things with grace and courage and faith and enthusiasm. And when I look to someone now as an example of who I want to be like, LaToya is one of the people that I look to. And I love her to death.
I came into this program when I was a freshman in college. I'm sorry, I'm a freshman in high school, about 14 or 15 years of age. And I had two tutors prior to Pam who were both students themselves. So of course their educational obligations became great. But as I said, Pam, my current tutor, and I use the word current for a good reason, because I am now 26 years of age and pursuing a master's degree, and Pam is still with me today. I understand that the primary role models of success start in the home, but there's nothing more assuring than to have an additional role model of success outside of the home. And I've been one of the fortunate students to have that in Pam and her family. They have seen me through high school. They've seen me through my college application process. They've seen me through college itself. And as a matter of fact, one of the first things that I received when I went off to college my freshman year was a care package from Pam and her family. It's one of the first things that was waiting there for me in my dormitory room there. And in due time, Pam and her family, Ned, Emma, and Addison, will see me through a graduation from an advanced education program. There is no other program that I know of or that I have been a part of than Chicago Lights that such a bond, such a friendship, such a mentorship can be established. And that has been my experience with the Chicago Lights program and the mentoring program. Now, earlier I called on the tutors, but at this time, I want to call on my peers. So with all of my students who have been a part of the Chicago Lights Tutoring program, both past and present, if you could stand. I'm sorry. So could you please stand again? If you were a student but are now a tutor giving back to the program. Now I'd like to welcome one of our students that came back to give to the program but was once a student. His name is Tyler Allen and his former tutor, Matt Alverson. And I'd like to invite them to the stage to share their story about their time here at Chicago Lights.
We were saying we were even talking about this in our seats. It's an honor to be here with such inspiring influencers, influential professionals. I was just telling Tyler that my college application was about a book that had impact on my life that Bob Greene wrote. So it's just a interesting coincidence, I guess. So, and we're not just humbled to be here to talk, but also by the people that we've worked with in the tutoring program. I've been doing the tutoring program for a decade now. And, very early on started working with Tylus and have been working, friends now, because you have it all together, right?
No, not yet.
And I think I would like to say, like everybody else here, and I think uniquely like this group, I seek out bright spots in Chicago, seek out meaningful parts of this town. And, for a decade, I've really found this to be, it's fitting that it's called Chicago Lights, because I do think it is a bright spot in the impact that you can have in Chicago and the importance of what can be one-on-one mentoring. And I recently mentioned this to you guys, Stacy and Alex, but I feel like I've taken way more out of the program than I've put in even. Pride, inspiration, positive introspection, community, and really a broader perspective on the city and what's important to youth and what's important really to me. And I've learned a lot through it. And because of that, I would like to thank the professionals that make it possible, all the volunteers that have helped me, and of course, I think most importantly, the volunteers, it's unique to say this, but I would thank the students that actually make it meaningful for us and make it meaningful. I mean, I see you nodding your head, makes it meaningful for us to come here once a weeknight for the school year. And I teach executives at the University of Notre Dame. I work on social cause programs for Nike, and I would say some of my most profound moments as an adult, as a professional, have been more the one-on-one time that I've had with students with Tylus than I have in some of those more would have otherwise been noteworthy things that I've worked on. And with Tylus, our relationship has spanned mastering quadratic equations to just a few years ago structuring mortgages. So numbers is the key part. That's the thread. So and Tylus really, he made it easy for me to do more at a time it would have been really easy for me to do a lot less. When I started at the tutoring program, we would even meet on the weekends. First, it was because I was making him study, because we had some big tests coming up. But then it was because we enjoyed hanging out. And I think it's hard to tell where, say, mentoring stops and friendship starts as you get a bit older, as you get a bit more mature, as you have common ground. But we definitely have crossed over that blurring point. And, some of the moments that stand out for me and are noteworthy of what this program can actually enable, when I think about Tyler addressing his peers at tutoring on the last night, and having poise and being able to talk to a large group. And I gave him a picture of him talking when he went off to college to remind him of how far he had come. Attending his high school graduation, and then his brothers, because I tutored his brother following Tyler, who were still working on him as well. Smiling on the inside as I made him study biology at the halftime of a Bulls game. Because we got tickets through the program, but I knew Tyler had a test the next day. And then most recently, smiling on the outside as I heard him talk about his latest promotion, talking about getting his first home, and actually talking about getting married at some point. So we're going to get there too. So. And my sincerest wish is that this program thrives, that more people have meaningful experiences like I have, and that it continues to help people as much that are working with the program as that are in the program and then are working in the program, but ultimately that it continues to be the bright spot, to be the light in Chicago. And I thank everybody that's been a part of it. And with that, Tyler, do you want to say a few words? I think I probably went over time, so.
I'll try to wrap it up really quick. So I'm Tyler, as everybody may know now. I just want to first off have you guys, can you guys hear me back there? I would like for you guys to give yourself a round of applause for all of the, I'd like to thank all the supporters, the volunteers, the donors, everything. When I think about what Chicago Lights mean to me and what it has meant to me over my lifetime is opportunity, I would say, is the biggest thing. And the reason I say that is because when you think of, the reason I say that because when you tune in every night on the news, you see killings and shootings and muggings and things of that sort. I could have easily been one of those people, I'm sorry, but I had opportunity in it, and I was given a chance. I was given a chance at a very young age, and I had someone that stood by me even when I was like an adolescent, doing things that wasn't the right thing. I always had somebody that was like right there, coming up to my school when I was getting in trouble, making sure that I was on the right track, and that was Stacy, so I want to thank her from the bottom of my heart. And just to go back to that, so many people lose their lives due to violence in Chicago. I have lost 2 people in the past 3 years who was Chicago Lights alum, as well as friends that I consider a brother to me. One due to senseless violence, and another accident that happened to one person. And Alex spoke about something earlier that caught my attention when he said, he spoke about the kid Kobe and his grandmother being the person who stood by him when all odds was against him. Chicago Lights has been that grandmother for me throughout my life. So I'm truly grateful for it, and I appreciate it as well. Another thing that Chicago Lights give their children, the kids here, is hope. Because a lot of people come from poverty, a lot of people come from different backgrounds, and like we never know what goes on in one person's life. Like I may smile and consider myself being happy, but you can go home and you can be absolutely living in hell. So I'm totally thankful for this program, for everything that it has taught me and how it has molded me into the man that I am today. And I'm greatly appreciative for that. It gave me tremendous personality, I believe. The reason I say that is because Chicago Lights, like, it has came a long way. Like, I remember when I first started in 5th grade, we'll go downstairs in the basement of 4th Press, and it wasn't like all fancy how it is now. And we'll eat in the cafeteria, and we'll have tutoring in the same room. So we have came a long place, and this is just living proof how tremendous and how much of a big thing this is, not just for the kids, but for the tutoring program as well as the volunteers. They have provided me with job training skills. We did mock interviews, resume building, summer internships, computer classes, typing classes, and this is actually the place where my engineer skills was opened up, because I actually built my first computer here in a computer program here in the tutoring place. But as John stated earlier as well, when he was asked, does the children appreciate the program? I can definitely answer that question. If you asked me that question maybe 10 years ago when I was a 14-year-old boy, I would just say I was just doing it because I was with my friends. But now you ask me, do I appreciate it? I definitely appreciate it, because where I'm at now today is because of this program. So I'm very thankful for that, and thank you guys.
Wow. Thank you, Tyler and Matt. That was incredible. At this time, I want you guys to put your eyes up there, and we're going to reflect on some former tutoring participants. I think it's appropriate just to have a moment of silence as we remember those people that lives ended far too soon. Thank you. Now I want to call up someone who I remember when she was a bit younger, and that is LaShonda, who was a student here, had to be 10 plus years ago, 11 years ago. So LaShonda is going to come up here and share some words about her time here at the program. So come on up.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Unfortunately, that just touched me. I've been in the program since first grade, so mostly everyone on there I knew. I am from the Henry Horner Projects, and I attended Lincoln Park High School, which majority of those guys on there, they were either from the Cabrini Green Projects or Marshallfield Gardens, or from my environment, Henry Horner. I just want to take you on a journey throughout my life and show you how remarkable this program has been to me. Like I said, I've been in the program since first grade with my tutor. Unfortunately, she was unable to make it. I'll give you some background information on her as well. Her name's Diana Kenworthy. She's been my tutor ever since the first grade. I've always had her, and still, even today, she's my mentor, a motherly figure, my mom. Like, I can call on her for anything. She's a judge, so she's pretty busy, and she always still seems to make time for me, even though I know she has her family, her work, her own social life, but she always still calls, checks on me, we go out. She supports me throughout college and everything. I'm kind of off track of what I was gonna say, but I have an insert here from a newsletter written in November 2008 from the tutoring program. The executive director, Beth Truitt, wrote it in 2008, and it was about me and my tutorer. The Job Training and Career Program would like to introduce LaShonda Southall, who spent 11 years in the tutoring program and 4 years in job training, graduated from Lincoln Park High School. One of 7 tutoring students to graduate in 2008, she shared these remarks about her tutoring experience at the end of the year banquet, which she also helped plan as a Student Leadership Council member. It is my pleasure to speak about the Chicago Lights Tutoring and Job Training programs and how these programs have changed my life dramatically. I was introduced to the tutoring program 11 years ago. That's when I met my wonderful tutorer, Diana. Diana has not only been a great tutor, but a friend, motherly figure, and a teacher. She has exposed me to the new ways of life by encouraging me to attend Lincoln Park High School. My neighborhood high school was either Crane or debt, and she wanted better for me, so she helped me fill out applications to get out of my area so I can network and meet new people and be in a diverse environment. She has exposed me to new ways of life by encouraging me to attend Lincoln Park High School and by just being an encouragement in all that I do. I would like to thank her personally for everything. When I was younger, I loved reading, only because the tutoring program would reward us with ice cream for doing book reports. And now reading is something I enjoy doing on my own. This program is very successful, and I am a living witness. Stacy Jackson and Alex Cornwell worked so hard to make this program the success that it is. I joined the tutoring program to earn money and to finally have a job, not knowing that this program would help me develop into the person I am today. The job training program has introduced me to the professional working world. I joined the job training program when I was a freshman in high school, and I've had 4 remarkable interns since. I've interned at Fourth Presbyterian Church, working in social services and helping the homeless, in Congressman Danny K. Davis' office, one of my favorites, because I was able to have a voice in my community by being on the Congressman's youth group. I also enjoy my internship at DeVry University, recruiting new students and actually putting together a research study for students that attend the university. My most recent internship was the Greater North Michigan Avenue Association. There is so much more I could say about the program, but it would take all night. I also have a 6-year-old daughter. Now, I was 19 years old when I had my child, and in my community, you become a statistic when you have a child at such a young age. But I have shown you can still do whatever you want to do. You can live, you can travel, even with a child. My child has actually made me more responsible. She's helped me to grow into the woman that I am today. It has been a little slower for me to maintain my degree, but in the words of my tutor, it's not how long it takes, it's as long as you do it. So I will be getting my degree in December in sociology finally, but I am working in my career field now. I just want to also let you all know all the things that Diana has done for me. She was the first one to buy me a computer. I believe I was in 6th grade. It was a really nice one, too. The iMac, the bubble, you all remember those? The clear ones? She got me one of those. Every semester, she pays for my books for college. She sends care packages. I mean, she's just so supportive. I also have to give thanks to Stacy, Alex, and Penny Smith. She was the job training coordinator here. They have tremendously influenced everything in my life as far as my work ethic, my appearance. They were the ones to take me on my first shopping spree because I did not know how to dress appropriately for anything. So So thank you, Alex and Penny. They took me to H&M one day, and they bought me all type of clothes for jobs and everything. So thank you. Stacy, who I can call on, she actually was a reference for my job that I have now. She helped me. I mean, this program is just amazing. I can go on and on and on, being since I've been here so long. But I know my 5 minutes are up, but it's just, it's so much on here I haven't even got through. But I just love this program, and unfortunately, I live in the DeKalb area, but when I come back to Chicago, I will be a tutorer. I have already had it in my mind because I would like to influence someone's life as much as this program has influenced mine. Thank you.
All right, how's everybody doing? We're almost finished, I promise. LaShonda, it's been a while. We came up together in the job training program. It's where I first encountered LaShonda. And again, there was Penny Smith, Stacy Jackson, and Alex who were running that and coordinating that. And I'd just like to say, by the time I had graduated high school, it was because of Stacy, Penny, and Alex that I actually had a resume. So thank you for that. I went off to college, able to get into my career field that I'm in now, and I didn't start at the entry level. So I just want to extend my thanks to you guys on that. For me, having this program and having a wonderful tutor like Pam ensured that I would have a great experience through those years where it was crucial for me to have such great experiences. The program staff here at Chicago Lights in the tutoring program, they really work hard to make sure that all the students have a positive experience. And no one works harder than the current director, Alex, whom I'm going to introduce in just a moment here. But before I have Alex come up, I just want to share a few words about her. Again, I first encountered Alex in the job training program. And what I can remember best and most of her was her drive, her unique self. And she can expand on that. But at that time, you know, Alex, she wore very intriguing outfits and had very intriguing hairdos. And she was one that I always found myself drawn to in that program. But she was very funny. She was very giving. She was selfless. And one of the things that I loved most about her was her passion to teach us the skills that we needed to succeed in the workforce. So without further ado, Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please join me in putting your hands together and welcome Alex, the current tutoring program.
Oh, stop. Sit down. Wow, I was not expecting that really nice, warm welcome, so thank you, Shelton. That was really great of you. There recently was a study that the national mentoring organization, mentoring.org, did, and came out that said that young people who were at risk of failing academically, becoming involved in gangs, being drawn to violence, if those people had mentors, they were more likely to aspire to attend college, take leadership roles, and participate in their community. And that's what we've been doing for the last 50 years here. We've been creating those matches for those young people to be connected to those mentors, to help them do those things. And you've heard today of the success stories that we have, and unfortunately you've seen some of the challenges that we're facing. And so what we hope to do in the next 50 years is to strategically plan for reassessing the needs of the youth that we're serving, looking at what those communities need, collaborating with other organizations in the city of Chicago through efforts called Thrive and Peace Hub to ensure that we're all working together to better the youth in this city. And we're hoping that we're going to continue having these same successes that we've had over these last 50 years, but, you know, even take it to that next step further. You know, Alex mentioned a lot about sharing stories, and we know that that's not what's necessarily going to make the changes, but it certainly does help us to understand one another a little better. And when anybody ever asks me, what's your favorite part about the tutoring program, I say that it's people sharing stories. You know, we all have something to learn here, and that's the most important thing about this program. So I invite all of you to stay connected with us in these next 50 years. Right? Who's coming to the 100th year anniversary? But so many of you have stayed connected through the years in so many different ways, and we're hoping that you'll continue, whether it's just liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, staying connected via our newsletter, coming back to volunteer, continuing to volunteer. Also, Chicago Lights has 5 other programs in addition to tutoring, so we are really wrapping our arms around the city of Chicago, youth and adults, and so I thank all the Chicago Lights staff that are part of our organization. A special mention, too, to our tutoring staff, who we've been a team now for many, many years. Megan Stegeman is here, Aaron Mitchell is here, Tanya Ujigwe is unfortunately missing, and Fernie Tiflis is missing, too. But also our part-time staff, Vanzelia Young and Armedia Houston and Jonita Johnson are here, as well as a lot of other part-time staff. So special thank you to them. And I know she's going to be mad at me, but I can't leave this podium without recognizing Stacy Jackson. That's right. Every single one of you in this room probably knows Stacy because she's been a pillar in this tutoring community for the last 18 years. And I don't think there's anybody in this room that doesn't know who she is. And so we thank you for your guidance as our Executive Director of Chicago Lights. Thank you for coming to celebrate with us. Thank you.